Number 29 is Big L from Harlem. Big L is one of those rappers that any rapper that's on now, if they had to say a rapper that would have had a very successful career, is Big L. Rapping Harlem, used to hang out with like Cameron and his group back in the day. Big songs like Ebonics, 98 Freestyle, Put It On. Put It On was a big song. I loved his style of rap. It was always very aggressive, very direct, very clean with each line. Very good rapper. Number 28 comes in Mace. Mace had one of those unique hip-hop voices, very monotone, slow style of rap. He had like big songs like Tell Me What You Want and Feel So Good. Obviously signed to Bad Boy, rapping with Puffy and Biggie back in the day. I think he would be higher on the list if he didn't retire from rap after the second album, because he kind of made the second album and kind of retired from rap either when it just came out or just before it came out, but still had big songs on that album as well. That song with Blackstreet, Get Ready. But Mace, yeah, very influential. Kanye was influenced heavily by Mace as well. He was big Mace up a lot when he first came in the game. Number 27 is Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke, I must say, rest in peace Pop Smoke, but shouldn't be this high on the list. The young guy, he made one album. It was a strong album. We all love that song Dior. But I think with one album, he shouldn't be on number 27 of the top 50 best hip-hop, best New York rappers of all time. Coming in number 26 is Mr. Raekwon the Chef with the classic album Only Built for Cuban Links, with the classic song on there with Nas and Ghostface. Woo! Great album. Great album. A lot of good songs on that album. Raekwon is one of my favorite rappers, period. Like, definitely top 15 rappers of all time. He's got a complex rhyming style, very lyrical, like really typical Wu-Tang East Coast type of rap style. I think he should be higher on the list. I think he deserves to be higher, but can't complain about being in the top 20 something. Then you got Cardi B coming in at 25. Cardi B, all due respect, but how are you 25 on the list? Above Raekwon, above Fabulous, above Fat Joe? You gotta be kidding me. That she had a big impact on in the music industry. Probably the first female rapper to really make a splash since Nicki Minaj. Hence why they almost came to blows one time. But yeah, she shouldn't be on the top 25. I don't even think she writes. I think that's a known thing. She doesn't write her own raps. But obviously, yeah, that she's had big songs. Be Careful With Me, it was a good song. I really like that one a lot, actually, myself. And then Bodak Yellow. And, you know, she's got lots of hits, to be fair. But yeah, shouldn't be on the top 25. But like I said before, we do not know complex criteria when it comes to this list. What's it based on? Is it based on hits? Is it based on popularity? Is it social media followers? Or lyrical? Never know. Coming in at 24 is Q-Tip. Had a very successful career with them, then branched off to do his solo career, which he had a lot of nice little hits. You know, Breathe and Stop was like the big one that you can think about. But his debut was actually really solid. We had that in our house. I liked his tone. Very good tone of when he rapped. Very unique voice. Wasn't some lyrical giant or anything like that, but he was like a backpack rapper. Obviously, he's a very good producer as well. Produced on Nas's first album, Illmatic. But yeah, I think that's a solid position for Q-Tip. Coming in number 23 is 1/3 of Run DMC, and that is Run. Run is obviously a legend from the legendary group, coming from Queens. He was one of the guys that influenced like LL Cool J and a lot of the East Coast raps. And obviously they rocked Adidas, made it real popular. You know, classic songs like Sucker MCs, It's Tricky, Christmas in Hollis. You know, they were a great group. Coming in number 22 is Chuck D of Public Enemy. Chuck D, probably the face of conscious rap in hip hop. I mean, I know there's a lot of other people like Common, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, and everyone else, but he's like the face of it for me, in my opinion. Obviously, that, you know, his thing is always speaking about the black cause, but the big songs I record from Public Enemy, like Rebel Without a Pause, and obviously he's known for challenging the establishment. Coming in at number 21 is my guy Method Man. My top 3 rappers of all time. Method Man from the Wu-Tang Clan, with classic albums like Tikal and Tikal 2000. I mean, that album, the album he came out in 98, Tikal Judgment Day, that was a blazing album. Had the classic song Breakups to Makeups with D'Angelo. Super lyrical. Only rapper that featured on Biggie's first album, Ready to Die. He was on The What, and he held his own. He didn't get bodied by Biggie at all. He had a grimy style in the beginning, like that husky voice and like kind of a street type of lyrical content. But his flow even today is like very polished. He still can do it, still mop up most people. Very underrated rapper. I think he should be higher on the list, shouldn't be 21. Coming in at number 20 is Slick Rick the Ruler. Slick Rick, known as one of hip-hop's best storytelling rappers. His classic album, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick, 1988. Yeah, Kanye West that bigged him up, called himself the new Slick Rick or Knock You Down. And even Nas, Slick Rick is like Jesus G-Rap wrote the Bible, a response to J. Cole's Let Nas Down. But Slick Rick, proper legend, 80s pioneer type of rapper. Then we go number 19, that's Big Daddy Kane. Big Daddy Kane, slick rapper. He was probably one of the most versatile rappers. Real smooth with his voice, but then also can get like very aggressive, like the song like he did Raw. That was a good song as well. Probably my favorite Big Daddy Kane song. He heavily influenced people like Biggie and Jay-Z. Jay-Z was under him as well, like at one point, almost like a mentor to Jay-Z. They're all from Brooklyn as well. Coming in at number 18 is Yasin Bey, otherwise known as Mos Def from Brooklyn. See, another Brooklyn representative. Most famous album he did was the Black on Both Sides, his debut album that really blew up. Well, I say blew up, it went gold, but it had big songs like Miss Fat Booty. That was a cool video as well. But I like Mos Def. He had that monotone thing like Mace, almost like he was mumbling when he rapped. But that's how he spoke as well, you know, if you see him in any of the movies. But yeah, Mos Def, very lyrical, great wordplay. Didn't make enough albums, then definitely didn't make enough good albums. Number 17 comes in Cameron, Dipset's leader, boss man, guy that made wearing pink look cool when it wasn't cool for guys back in the day. But Cameron, yeah, comes into that. Well, I think he should be higher, especially for New York. I think Cameron definitely should be like bare minimum top 10. I mean, my favorite Cam song is Oh Boy. Still think that's an underrated song, even though it did well. But a song that has no chorus, that just blasted through the airways in 2002. Love that album. But he's got some good albums, some kind of like cult classic albums, but nothing like that was like the biggest hip hop albums at the time. But definitely one of the best lyricists, definitely with the swag as well. You know, Cam definitely influenced a lot of the new rappers like Wiz Khalifa and them. Coming in at 16 is Jadakiss. How Jadakiss ain't top 5, bare minimum top 10 is unbelievable. This complex list is a bit whack, I ain't gonna lie. What are they basing it on? Jadakiss, fresh off like a versus victory with the Locks versus Dipset. Well, that was quite a while ago, but that was iconic. They were like big, the Locks and Jadakiss, on the mixtape scene, doing that street music, punchlines, lyrical flow, bodied 50 in their beef. Like, this guy's record is flawless. The only thing you can say about Jadakiss is that he didn't sell many albums, didn't have like the biggest singles. Probably the most notable song he ever did in terms of commercially was when he did that song Why. Up next is Big Pun, Fat Joe's artist. Sadly didn't get to really have a long career, so I think that's a good placement for him in the list. He's one of my favorite rappers. Fantastic flow, great rhythm, lyrics. I mean, the Punisher song with the R&B singer Joe on it, classic song. It's also unfortunate he only lived for one album. They put out like an album after when he died, but he didn't really get to see that success as such. Love the line in the first album. He goes, "Dead in the middle of Little Italy." You gotta go check it out. That's off his first album, which was called Capital Punishment. Up next, MF Doom. MF Doom I wasn't really a big fan of. I didn't fully know his music like that. But MF Doom, rest in peace. He wasn't commercially that successful, but He's definitely had a cult following. He definitely deserves to be on the list. Number 13 comes in Ghostface Killer. Definitely one of my goats in hip-hop. His rap style, his tone of voice can't even be matched. Nobody's ever tried to sound like him except for Action Bronson, who sounds a lot like him. But you know, there was a bit of conflict when Action Bronson came in because he sounded just like him. But his classic album, Supreme Clientele, I love the Malcolm X song on that album. That beat is just crazy. That album was so good that people felt like he didn't even write the album. But yeah, it was almost like an extension to Wu-Tang. It had that Wu-Tang sound. It was like a really top-notch street kind of record. Coming in number 12 is Lil' Kim. I think that's where Nicki Minaj got a lot of her image from. That over-sexualizing image of herself came kind of Lil' Kim's mold, really. But Lil' Kim wasn't known to be a writer. Biggie was known to write her raps, and whoever else knows, Cameron wrote Crush on You apparently. Whether he wrote her part, I don't know. But Kim's had a great career. I think I prefer her to Nicki Minaj, but I think that's a solid position for Lil' Kim to be in that position. Coming in number 11 is my guy Prodigy from Mobb Deep. Prodigy, rest in peace. He was definitely one of my favorite rappers. Top 10 for me. At times was in my top 5. But yeah, he's been part of some of hip-hop's most classic beats. Shook Ones, and the album The Infamous, Hell on Earth, Quiet Storm song. Just like absolute Mount Rushmore of hip-hop legends.